focus on warm-ups and some real mindful clarity, work in the process, but mainly warm-ups and body position, trying to keep a clear mind, focus on the fundamentals. So for warm-ups, other than standard reps, I like to do static holds in different positions. So this is 145 pounds, I believe, or 155. 155. And take it out, relax the shoulders. You're going to be here for about 10 seconds. Make sure your feet are properly grounded, toes pointed out, ready to drive. From here, I just shift to the right a touch, give it a hold, shift to the left a touch, give it a hold, back to center, and then bring it forward and down, and just give it a hold. And then rack it, let the blood flow. In between the warm-ups where I'm just static holding or doing what I call the time under tension, I do a few reps, but I limit the reps. The reps are more just feeling out the muscles and making sure everything's very warmed up. Drop down, relax the shoulders. Just try to let the body do its thing. Try not to think about it. I just try to let the muscles do what they technically should know to do. This is also about the nervous system. Just letting the nervous system tell the body what to do with the blood and the chemicals. Same thing as before. This is 205 pounds. We're just gonna do the same warm-up. Time and time and time again, keep adding weight. And in between, maybe do a rep or two, slow controlled, focus on slow controlled down and just engaging your core and your muscles on the way up. Body and the nervous system do the work. Don't think about anything. Be clear-minded. Shift to the side. Shift to the side. Front. Down. And back up. 6, 7, 3, 4. Trying to floss out some really deep muscle fibers. Trying to make sure that the nerves that are there are activated, not asleep. Exact same things before. Continue up, This is 225. Normally, when I'm done warming up, I'll go into my 3 sets, but today I think I'm gonna do some really heavy static holds and then maybe take Saturday, Sunday off, come back Monday, start my new program. Shift. I really want to touch on the 2 different stretches that I do. And these are things that I did not learn until very recently. And I started incorporating them, but neither of these will have any benefit without a lot of extreme consistency. This is something that you have to do daily or you will not see the benefits. So the first one is what we call a dynamic stretch, and then that's just where you're pushing your area that you're trying to stretch all the way out to its maximum, and then you're using the rest of your body to push beyond your maximum just a little bit, and that's how you activate the deep fibers. This would just be a static stretch, holding and not moving, but once you get to the farthest point you can, and you rotate your hip a little bit, you're stretching this beyond. Now, when I start warming up, I do these about 30 times, and you can feel that deep fiber pain, which is your nerve system saying, hey, you haven't touched this before. After 4 or 5 sets of warm-ups and stretching in between, I no longer have any of those pains. And it's very hard to do those dynamic stretches beyond extremely warmed up, because you start to feel the muscle like it's not even there, and you just start feeling like the fact that your arm doesn't actually bend any farther. You don't get any tension or torsion through here. You just feel like something's gonna break back there. So at that point, you just kind of knock it off, do a set. Obviously you're good and warmed up, but to go beyond the dynamic stretching, by the way, I only do 2 types of stretching. I don't do any static stretching, but to go beyond the dynamic would be what you call a ballistic stretch. And that would be where you physically, aggressively, and powerfully try to stretch out, almost like you're doing a dynamic stretch, which a dynamic stretch is very controlled. A ballistic stretch would be very uncontrolled. So this movement, as hard as you can, because there's no chance you're going to tear a muscle. But you are going to activate something there. But that's only after a lot of warm-ups, a lot of stretching, a lot of things that people think they don't need. But in reality, it was the only way that I was able to get back and start doing this again. And I was having debilitating shoulder pain. I couldn't do normal things in life. I wasn't able to even sleep at night, and it was just awful. I mean, and I don't know what it was from, but I just got my little program here, and I have 0 shoulder pain in my normal everyday life. The only shoulder pain that I exhibit is if I would take something and try to throw it. The rotator cuff, I think, is shot, and I do not throw things with my right arm. So I don't know that there's a stretch and a movement I can do to start fixing that, but right now I'm fixing the rest of the shoulder, and then maybe I can start working on that some. Okay, technically we're still warming up. Got 255 on the bar here. We're gonna do some static holds. We'll probably do 1 rep, and then I'm gonna move beyond that to the 130, maybe 140% static holds. I just guess at what my max might be. Multiply that by 1.3, 1.4, somewhere in there. And then do some extreme static holds. Okay, we got 345 on there, and these are just static holds. These are not static holds with a lot of movement. Relax the shoulders, yes, but you're not going to be moving around a lot. I do like to do what I call some false reps, and it's just tricking my muscles into believing that, you know, they need to be ready. Okay, we got 365 on the bar. Again, this is static holds. 5 months ago, I was doing this with 265 and it felt like the end of the world. That's where I want 365 to feel currently, but I have to do this as part of my routine, part of my program. That's a lot of weight. Okay, we are past a static hold, kind of like I get past my dynamic warm-ups. This is 415 pounds on the bar. I cannot lift this. I will not be able to take it out of the cradle, nor would I attempt it. It's not anything I'm just going to try for fun. What I'm going to do is push on it as hard as I can. And if it moves, but I will not take it out of the cradle. This is so much more weight than I could even hold above my chest, or should be right now. Feels good though.